Here's a short story that was sent over to me, not from Reddit, but actually from one of my viewers on the main channel, They Did What, who shares about his experience with his now ex-wife and the absolute train wreck that she was, and how ultimately he has the last laugh. You're going to see how all the BS she was doing during the marriage, and obviously there was cheating going on, and just never-ending trying to manipulate him, the boys, all that. But ultimately, justice is served. And I'll be going to go over here, guys, just to show you the type of crap that they can put guys through and how men can come out strong on the other end. Oh, and of course, in no way, shape, or form has she changed, and now karma is dealing a nasty blow to her. So it starts off, says here, greetings. The recent story about the woman who cheated and manipulated her kids against her father is one I can relate to. You're absolutely right to call out that kind of behavior. It's toxic and needs to be addressed, especially in a culture where accountability is often lacking. After watching that video, I felt compelled to share my own experience. He's referring to a video, again, I did on the They Do What channel about a man who walks in and finds his wife cheating with his best friend, and then divorces her, and she gets a shark of a lawyer and twists it around, blames him, manipulates the kids, and they don't talk to him for 6 years. But then justice is served because the kids wake up to reality and all that. And if you guys haven't seen that, I'll post a link to the channel. Well, years ago, my ex and I had our first child. She wanted to contribute financially so we could buy a home and grow our family. She landed a job that she liked, and her manager appreciated her work ethic, initially giving her only day shifts. Eventually, she began rotating shifts like everybody else. Well, she's going to start rotating guys as well. One day, she told me she volunteered for all afternoon shifts, which struck me as odd. Later, she mentioned a new male employee that she was helping train, staying late to show him around. When I questioned her priorities, reminding her she had a family, she snapped at me, which raised red flags. When a woman snaps at you, either there's something going on behind the scenes or she's definitely lost respect for you, or both. That's unacceptable. Well, I played along while quietly observing. Outwardly, she maintained the image of a devoted wife and mother, but my instincts told me otherwise. Trust your gut, gentlemen. If your instincts were telling you something no good, that is when it is warranted for a boyfriend, husband, or whatever to start digging and doing some investigating. Her late arrivals home became routine. First an hour, then 2, then 4. One morning I had to call her job because I needed to leave for work at 8 o'clock in the morning. She rushed in, feigning confusion, and when I asked what I was supposed to do with our child, she brushed it off with contempt. So in other words, she's like, uh-oh, I may get caught here. And back to the whole showing up 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours late, completely unacceptable. We all know what she was doing. Well, we hadn't been intimate in months, and she was always tired or had a headache. That's what they always say. They're tired, have a headache, or they got a toothache all of a sudden. It's like, bitch, you were at the dentist last week. Don't tell me you got a toothache. Then out of the blue, she called me at work to say she was pregnant. How is she pregnant if you haven't been intimate in months? Must be an immaculate conception going on here. When I asked her how that could have happened, she mocked me. I knew that she wouldn't admit to anything. Then our second son was born, and we nearly lost him. This seems to shake her temporarily. Dude, if you had doubts, you had every reason to do your homework when that kid was born or demand a paternity test. Come on, bro. We moved to a new city for a fresh start, and for a while, she seemed to improve. No, she was just covering her tracks better. We ended up having a third son, and life felt more stable. But when our boys were 16, 12, and 8, she left to visit her brother, who was severely injured in an auto accident and didn't look like he was going to make it. So this is way later if the boys are 16, 12, and 8. The 12-year-old boy, the middle child, is the one that this guy was questioning whether it was his kid years earlier. So he's been married to this girl for a long time. Of course, when she went to be with family, and I stayed with my sons. Once she arrived, she called to say she made the trip, and after some small talk, she said she was not coming back. She needed to go find her happiness, and I told her happiness is something you build, not chase. So she was going to abandon you and all her kids to go find her happiness. Well, no, let me rephrase that. Just despicable. It is real because it happens. Months later, she called me crying, saying she missed the boys and wanted to try counseling. Oh, hell no. I agreed, not because I believed her, but because I knew she could twist a refusal against me. Her return was a disaster. She soon left again to visit her brother, which was a relief. Of course she was going to leave again. So, okay, Obviously, you let her come home because you figured she was going to twist things around, and then she'd get the kids. That'd be even worse. What a freaking mess. I would be divorcing her on your terms. Well, then one day my youngest son cried to me saying he didn't want to move to Florida. Confused, I asked him why. My middle son revealed that when she returned that she planned to take them while I was at work, leaving our oldest behind due to their strained relationship. I acted quickly. My mom and sister took the younger boys, and I kept the oldest with me. She was going to freaking take the two younger kids and go off to Florida and leave the other one behind. This chick is a piece of garbage. When I picked her up from the bus station, I confronted her. She denied everything, of course, blaming the kids for saying what I wanted to hear. I called bullshit and told her to either stop this nonsense or pack her shit and get the fuck out. Of course, she chose the latter, which was no surprise. Dude, after all this drama and turmoil, at this point you gotta freaking take the gamble and divorce her. Because, well, look what she's putting the boys through, for God's sakes. Not to mention you. After that, she tried to paint me as, wait for it, abusive. But the boys knew better. Even their friends saw through her lies, saying that she was fucked in the head. Damn right about that. With legal help, I proved she was unfit and secure custody and child support, though she did everything she could to avoid paying. There you go. See, sadly, it took a lot of BS and probably witness testimony to show that she is an unfit mother. You get full custody and get her to pay. And of course, she tried to fight it. And she probably cried more than Halle Berry making her child support payments. Eventually, she disowned the boys, and they returned the sentiment. It's heartbreaking, but they've grown into strong, resilient young men. Well, good for them. And you know what? They got the first front row seat tickets lessons to female nature. The ugly, ugly worst case of female nature. They ain't going to change. As for the son I once suspected was not mine, I raised him from birth, and he's my son in every way that matters. Okay, well, you're a good man for doing that. There's some guys that wouldn't, but it's not the boy's fault. I still would have been checking things years earlier, but what's done is done. Meanwhile, she remarried, of course, and from what I hear, is repeating the same destructive patterns. Because a leopard does not change its spots. A tiger does not change its stripes. She and her new family have been evicted multiple times, and she still hasn't learned what it means to be responsible. Despite everything, my sons and I are thriving. We've come through the storm stronger, and I'm proud of the men they've become. Well, that is awesome. Awesome because her life is dog crap. Big shocker. But awesome because you have come out stronger, and your boys are good men. And your boys, if there's an R-pill lesson there for your boys, it's that experience with their mother. And that have nothing to do with her. Because one day she'll come crawling back. Because they always come back. And she'll be begging and crying, not you, because she'll know that ship has sailed, but she'll be going to the boys trying to work her manipulation tactics, and I hope like hell they don't fall for it. But there you go. Look at all the crap he dealt with. But I honestly do think if he would have tried to pull the plug a little too quickly, she would have gotten the custody of the boys. It took never-ending bullshit, not to mention other friends and people saying how destructive she was, for him to, get the full custody. And I can imagine the uphill battle trying to get child support out of her. So anyhow, guys, there you go.